Hey guys, a warm welcome to our channel. Today I'm giving you an honest, well-researched review of the Skytech Gaming Rampage desktop PC, Ryzen 7 7800X3D, NVIDIA RTX 5070Ti, 1TB Gen4 NVMe, 32GB DDR5-5600 RGB, 850W Gold ATX 3PSU, 360mm ARGB AIO, Wi-Fi, Windows 11. I've combed through spec sheets, benchmarks, user forums, and reviews across the internet so you can see the good, the bad, and whether it's really worth it. First, the heart of the system, the Ryzen 7 7800X3D. Reviews call it one of the top gaming CPUs available even now. It offers 8 cores, 16 threads, and with its 3DV cache design it boosts gaming performance especially in titles that are CPU sensitive. It's efficient, doesn't draw excessive power for what it delivers, and many benchmarkers rank it among the best, sweet spot, gaming chips. For the GPU, the RTX 5070Ti is newer and less prevalent in public reviews, but I found some good benchmarking insight. TechSpot notes that in ray-traced 4K workloads, it struggles, just 31 FPS in a test with DLSS and high settings. In more typical 1440p or 1080p gaming, it holds up better. Tom's Hardware suggests it delivers up to approximately 25% higher performance on average compared with the 4070Ti, though gains over the 4070Ti Super are smaller. Gamers Nexus observed that in 1080p the 5070Ti and RX 7900 XTX are sometimes tied in performance, though the 7900 XTX pulls ahead in certain titles and in ray tracing. So, it's strong in rasterized workloads, more modest and heavier ray tracing, 4K. Putting that CPU plus GPU together, I expect this PC to excel at 1080p and 1440p high settings. In esports or less demanding games, it should easily breach 200+ FPS. For heavier AAA titles, you'll get playable 4K if you dial some settings down. The 1TB Gen4 NVMe SSD should provide very fast load times and system responsiveness, and 32GB DDR5-5600 RGB is plenty for modern multitasking, streaming, and gaming with headroom. On build, cooling, and features, the 360mm ARGB AIO is more than sufficient to handle the 7800X3D under sustained loads, and Skytech's case and layout, from comparable builds, appear clean, with good cable management and airflow. The 850W Gold PSU offers safety margin, especially if you upgrade later. The inclusion of Wi-Fi and a polished RGB aesthetic helps the plug-and-play appeal. The system seems built to be durable and visually appealing, but there are caveats and things to watch out for. First, because the 5070Ti is still early in its lifecycle, its benchmarks are fewer and performance in newer games may deviate from present estimates. Ray tracing is clearly a weakness. Demanding RT titles at 4K may force large compromises. The 1TB SSD, though fast, may fill up quickly with modern large game installations, so you might need to expand or add a secondary drive later. Also, because this is a pre-built system, margins and component choices may be less flexible, upgrades might be limited by case layout or cable constraints. Another consideration, the 7800X3D, while excellent in gaming, is not as strong in raw productivity loads compared to some multi-core NON 3D chips. If you do a lot of heavy video rendering or server-style workloads, this configuration might lag behind more core-heavy alternatives. Also, warranty, support, shipping risks, damage in transit, or firmware issues. Newer chips sometimes need BIOS patches, or always possible. Some users of new AM5/3D builds report needing updates. In short, don't assume perfection. Be ready to check for BIOS updates or driver quirks. All that said, is the Skytech Gaming Rampage desktop PC worth buying? Yes, if your priority is a high-performance gaming experience out of the box without building it yourself. This configuration gives you a very competitive setup for 1080p and 1440p gaming, good mid-level 4K ability, and solid future potential, especially if you add storage. But if you're laser focused on ray tracing or you're very budget conscious, you might find better value in DIY builds or different GPU choices. If the price is reasonable and you want power with convenience, this rig is a strong pick. Click the link below for the best price.